be aware that these are your most common problems in these TXTs. Smaller parts is actually the problem over a controller. So to test this motor, so that I can make sure that it is actually good. Alright guys, so as you've seen, got the motor tested. What's up everybody? Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Cart Smart TV. And today we got one of those cases where the customer brought us a cart, said they was just getting it out after the winter time, was going to ride it, and it wouldn't do anything at all. And so the way I like to do things, first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check the water in the batteries. Top of my batteries are wet there. I'm not sure if you can see it in the camera or not, but I did find that these batteries had no water in them. We'll get my meter. Buy these anywhere. Cheap ones work fine for a golf cart. You're not having to play an electrician here, just reading voltages, so you can buy one cheap. Alright, so we got 38.6, really good battery voltage there. So we're getting the solenoid click, but it doesn't want to move. It kind of jumped on us there to start with. Okay, try it in reverse. So with this thing lighting up like that and clicking, and it gave me a quick jump the first time I touched the pedal. I'm going to get back here and test the motor. I tested everything that was right here, and that's going to be your B positive, your B minus, or your B positive on this side, your B minus on this side, and your M minus. Alright, so these two are both from the battery and from the solenoid. This one right here, which is your M minus, that's going to be to your motor. That supplies the negative contact, I believe so. And then your positive contact from the motor is going to come from your forward and reverse switch, which has a wire that runs all the way back there. And then of course the other two wires are just to switch polarity and the way it moves forward and reverse. So to test this motor, so that I can make sure that it is actually good. So you can see I have a gator clip here, which I have on my A1, and then I have my negative gator clip from my battery charger. And then it's probably kind of hard to see. There you go, you probably can see that. But I have my red wire, which is like a loop from my S1 to my A2. And then, like I said, my red gator clip I have on my A1 because that's your armature. That's what needs the power. And then I have the ground from the battery charger gator clip on the S2, which is going to be grounding to the motor. And so what we're going to do, you don't have to have big amperage to make these things run. You just need 12 volts to get it to fire up. And when I push this button, after a couple of seconds, and then the charger should take on, and we should have wheels spinning if this motor is good. Okay, so I push the button, and there it is. So we do not have a motor problem. That's a good way to test the series TXTs. You also have the PDSs. You do a different test on the motor for that. But for any of the series electric systems that are in these TXTs, this test works every single time. The looping wire from S1 to A2, and then your power from the charger to A1, and then your negative from the charger to S2. Alright guys, so as you've seen, got the motor tested. We got the forward and reverse switch tested. Now I did suspect that to be the problem at first, so I threw a new one in here because I was not getting voltage everywhere I was supposed to get on the old one. But as I continued on through my tests, I had found out that that was not our actual problem. You can see here on this lug how it's all messed up. That's because it got overheated. Now these are typically your problem when the TXT doesn't run in this particular setup. But that was not our case this time. Through a little more testing and where this is so old, I was a stitch bit unfamiliar with the way it put out, but then learned that it's basically the exact same as a OEM factory controller that comes in these golf carts when you buy them. This is just an upgraded version of that, where it puts out, you know, a little more amperage to the motor, give you a little more torque and speed. The M-, which is this particular prong here, was not doing what it's supposed to do. And so let me show you through a OEM that I had on the shelf to test the theory of this, which I had already suspected that anyway, being that that's probably one of the most common problems with controllers, is that your M- just shorts out and will not let go. But what you're going to do to test the M- is you're going to put your positive lead of your voltmeter on your positive, main positive of the battery pack, not a positive over here, but the very first positive you have in the battery pack. And then you're going to take your black lead and you're going to put it on your M-, just like that. Alright, and so right now you should be seeing very, very low voltage, maybe even none. And as you push the pedal, that voltage should climb all the way to full battery pack voltage. And so now that's how you know that your M- is your whole running issue right there, is through that test. You also can test the B positive and B- on the controller, putting your black lead to the B- and your positive lead to your B positive, and you should have battery voltage there at all times. If you do not, your B positive and your B- has basically welded together inside the controller, causing it not to do what it's supposed to and release the voltage where it's supposed to go. We have definitely got a bad All-Trax controller back there. And also we're going to mention here that you can see I have these two flat bars where the All-Trax, back then they just mounted them straight up and down like this. As you can see, your mounting holes there and there. And there's 4 smaller holes that you could potentially use a different style bracket for. Thankfully, I have had a parts cart out in my junkyard there that had the OEM controller bracket on it. You will need this if you're going to do an upgrade such as a Navitas or anywhere like that, because their mounting is specific to the OEM positions on your mountain bracket. So thankfully we're going to put that in this golf cart for the customer and get it back to the way it's supposed to be, instead of having some kind of fabricated flat bars like that. I mean, it works, but if you do have one of these, just know that they do have wonderful customer service, and they are always willing to help get you through. If this is already in your golf cart, they'll walk you through all these tests as well if you need them. OEM controller out of here, because we're not going to be putting this one in. Our customer did opt to go with the Navitas upgrade. And so I got to get these 2 flat bar brackets out of here and get our OEM mountain bracket back in here. There you guys, there you go. Got the new plate in, back in its original place where it's supposed to be. Got the old flat bars that somebody bent and made work, which is fine. If you got to do it that way, you just got to do it that way, and that's how it is. But at all costs, if you can keep this in your golf cart, it's designed this way for a reason. There's fins on the back of it. This helps dissipate the heat that could potentially build up, that will potentially build up over time and use. Alright guys, got this thing installed. Pretty little Navitas green controller there. And once I got it installed, something weird kind of went on with me. And I had suspected this at the start of this whole thing. What I see most common go bad in the TXT, which is this switch right here. Once I got it all installed, got it powered up, wouldn't do anything. Still wouldn't move. What I had found is that this lower lug on the old F&R switch, this lower lug right here would not produce voltage out of the wire side. And what I tried to do was, I had some of these contacts like this. What I tried to do was take it apart, put another contact in here, and pray that it would be fine. But that was not the case. It's in this plate right here where the contact runs through and is supposed to make contact. It's so badly walled out and basically like melted that the contact is too far back for it to actually touch the rotary right here. This is your rotary, and so when it moves, it goes from one contact to the next, and it just would not put out the voltage back to the motor. And so this had to be replaced, and now that I have replaced it, we have a running golf cart. So what had happened was the controller caused this to overheat while this was in the process of shorting out. Customer stated that they kept hitting this with something to make it run, which could have done all kinds of weird stuff to it, but it was 100% because this is your M- on this controller. Well, that's your M- on the forward and reverse if you follow the wires properly. And so when this was shorting out, it would just straight up overheat this, and it caused it to quit working on them. So like I said, had to put a new one in. And as always, we appreciate you guys tuning in and watching. Hopefully these videos are helping you guys out across the country here. And stay tuned. We're going to have more videos out through the summer. God bless you all. Don't forget, hit that thumbs up for us. Give us a comment if you need to ask us questions. We will certainly reach back out to you. And phone number's linked in the channel somewhere there. Don't forget to subscribe for us, guys. We appreciate all of you who have. I'm sure that if you haven't subscribed but you've watched some of our videos, you should, because you're going to probably see more that you might run into in the future. Thank you so much for watching. God bless.